Well, it was just over 3 years ago that the UK became the first country to open the war against carbon in aviation with its Jet Zero strategy. 3 years on, we're at the World Summit for Sustainable Aviation at Farnborough, where the latest updates for the strategy are being announced. But you know what? It's not just about commercial aviation. The military is getting involved as well. Delegates from across the aerospace sectors were at the exhibition and conference centre at the site of the famous Farnborough Air Show for the summit. And rather fittingly, the event kicked off with a low-level flypast to mark a sustainable historic moment for the Royal Air Force, as Air Vice Marshal Paul Lloyd explains.
This flight today is a pathway we've been on for a while now. Increase the use of SAF in our aircraft. One of our Voyager aircraft took off, so the pilots can then do their practicing both from a tanking point and a receiving aircraft, normally combat aircraft, Typhoon, F-35s, and that'll be flown across the North Sea, and then it's coming here straight directly from that tanking sortie.
Meanwhile, back inside the centre, the UK's Jet Zero Council committed to continue speeding up the design, manufacture and rollout of zero-emission aircraft and vital infrastructure at UK airports. Its latest plans set out how the Council will help to accelerate the production of sustainable aviation fuels, that's SAF, by continuing to invest millions of pounds in first-of-a-kind SAF plants, supporting crucial scientific research on a larger scale and helping to drive down production costs. But with the country's Secretary of State for Transport, Mark Harper, listening, there was a clear message from the industry to formalise government policy and drive those initiatives forward.
It's clear that to have a mandate is going to help, but it's not going to be enough. We need SAF. The airlines, we want to comply with our 10% of sustainable aviation fuel by 2030. So I think it's critical, the policy, in order to produce the SAF that is going to be required.
The Aerospace Technology Institute made headlines on the first day, announcing its Hydrogen Capability Network's objectives, as well as offering insightful developments on moving quick wins forward.
For the first time, we're starting to see the potential importance of zero-emission aircraft within the roadmap, including both hydrogen aircraft and electric. And we're also seeing a general trend away from conventional offsets towards technical offsets and engineered solutions such as carbon capture and storage and direct air capture. There are quick wins associated with non-CO2 emissions around contrail formation. There are some aircraft technologies that can be delivered in timescales of less than a decade. Certainly some of the zero-emission aircraft technologies that we heard about can be delivered before 2030.
Meanwhile, Sustainable Aviation, the industry's coalition of the UK's leading airlines, airports and innovators, unveiled its latest roadmap to reach net zero by 2050. IAG's head of sustainability, Jonathan Council, outlined the progress made and excited the mainstream media by explaining that 14% of the carbon reduction would come from a drop in passengers because of the resulting rise in ticket prices. Well, that came as no surprise to the head of IATA, Willie Walsh.
If you look at it today, sustainable aviation fuel costs at least twice what traditional jet kerosene costs. It's been in the range of 2 to 3 times in recent times. And there's no way airlines, given the weak financial balance sheets that they have, can absorb that cost. So it will be reflected in ticket prices. That probably will have an impact on demand.
Industry body ADS unveiled a new grant scheme for SMEs, which the ADS CEO Kevin Craven detailed.
I'm very pleased to announce today that we are providing £50,000 in grant funding for our members to apply for, to help them find the tools, methodologies and processes that will improve their reporting, improve the way that they account for their own emissions.
And even the show organiser was firmly on that sustainability message.
It's really, really, really important that we lead the way on these things. Our shuttles from the station are green buses. We have no carpet in the venue. Our food suppliers, they look in terms of their food provenance, comes around 30 miles from there, recyclables in everything that they do in terms of their short use items.
With questions answered and knowledge gained, we come to the end of the second edition of Sustainable Skies World Summit. And it's been quite something, from electric aircraft like this to new kinds of ways of developing hydrogen and sustainable aviation fuel. So as one chapter closes, it's down to the industry now to finish the book.